Alright, what is up, you guys? I'm here with the Elimination Chamber 2020 review. So, we had 7 matches on the main card. Not too jam-packed, which I like that right off the bat. Unlike WrestleMania, which is most likely going to be like 16 or 17 matches. So, yeah. But, the pre-show match, we had kind of an impromptu match here. We had Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. I've always liked them, so it's kind of cool to see them, get something here. And they were defeated by the Viking Raiders in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So, not really too much to say there. And then we had the opening match. We had Daniel Bryan defeating Drew Gulak by technical submission. And I really liked this. This match was great. Daniel Bryan's my favorite wrestler on the WWE roster. Everyone knows that. And to see him work with kind of one of the younger guys, it's cool to see that. You can tell he loved doing this. You can tell this match was something that it was his brainchild. This was directly out of the mind of Daniel Bryan. And he even gave an interview, pretty emotional interview after this match, saying how much he loved it, and this is why he's still wrestling. And this was a very hard-hitting match. There were times in this match where I was concerned for Daniel Bryan's safety, which is, kind of a test to how, good these two were in the ring together. So, to me, this was match of the night. You had Gulak, he may have lost, but he didn't tap. That's kind of the important part. It was a technical submission. So, which we had a lot of those tonight. Well, on this night. But, to me, this was match of the night. There were so many hard-hitting suplexes. You had great submissions. You had just great mat technical wrestling that doesn't really feel like it belongs on a WWE card. And that's why this worked out really well. And then we had, for the 10,000th time, Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo for the United States title. This went 12 minutes and 20 seconds. This was actually one of their better matches. You can't really complain much about this one. This was a solid match. I'm glad Andrade won here. I was hoping he would keep the title even after his suspension. I honestly didn't think he was coming out of this one with the title. But, I'm assuming this is going to go into WrestleMania, and that's where he will drop the title. But, pretty good match here. And then we had the Elimination Chamber match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We had Lucha House Party. And then we also had Heavy Machinery, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode, which were the final entrants. The New Day and the Usos. The New Day and the Usos started out, followed by the Lucha House Party, followed by The Miz and John Morrison, who, I'm really fucking glad to see them back together. I think I said it in my last review. It is so cool to see these two back together again. And hopefully they have a lengthy title reign. Hopefully. So, overall this was kind of a clusterfuck of a match, but I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of botches near the beginning. You had some nonsensical spots, but at the same time, I thought this was a really good Elimination Chamber match. A lot of people were shitting on it. And, the crowd was really into it. The crowd really wasn't into the pay-per-view at all. This was one of the few matches that they were actually really into, which is saying a lot for a Philadelphia crowd. And I almost considered going to this pay-per-view because Philly's right near me. But, you had the shooting star press from the top of the Elimination Chamber. You had, some really cool spots. You had Otis just completely... I think this is the first time it's ever happened. He went through the bulletproof glass, Lexon, half-inch thick glass, and he went through both the pod door and the back of the pod out to the, like, where the Spanish announce table is. And yeah, like, this was a really cool spot. I was not expecting that. Like I said, you had a lot of really cool spots here. You could tell they were trying to do something different. I thought the pacing was good. You had a lot of technical wrestling on top of, you know, high spot wrestling, which is expected in the Chamber. And the way I see it is the Elimination Chamber, TLC, Hell in a Cell, they don't work in a PG environment. They just don't. So you have to get creative to make it entertaining and at least make it make somewhat sense. And I thought this match did that. So I really enjoyed this. Your final two, we had, let's see, we had The Miz and Morrison and The New Day. Not The New Day, The Usos. So this went 32 minutes and 55 seconds. And it honestly, I felt like it could have even went a little longer. You could have had the Usos and Miz and Morrison really have kind of maybe a little while longer, but I'm not going to complain. I really enjoyed this match. It's not the greatest Chamber match of all time by any means, but it was enjoyable. And a hell of a lot better than the Chamber match we got later in the night. So then we had Alistair Black versus AJ Styles in a no DQ match. 23 minutes and 15 seconds. This is what I like about wrestling cards that don't have too many matches. You have the Daniel Bryan match going 14 minutes. We have the U.S. title getting 12 minutes. See the pattern here. If you have 7 meaningful matches, well, not meaningful, but if you have 7 matches, you can make them more meaningful and actually give them the time that they deserve. So this went 23 minutes, and it was a decent blow-off to their little mini rivalry. It was really just kind of a placeholder for AJ Styles and The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But, you know, the no DQ stipulation really didn't come into play as often as I'm sure a lot of people hoped. I felt like you really didn't need the no DQ stipulation. It was really only in there for The Undertaker to come in, interfere, and cost AJ Styles the match. I'm really glad we saw Alistair Black get the win here. Very glad. You know, because they really could have fucked this up for him and make him look horrible. But, yeah, they actually did the right thing here and had Alistair Black go over at the same time as building AJ Styles and The Undertaker. So I felt like this worked. And then we had the Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. This one went too long. I was very bored during this match. I'm not a fan of the Street Profits at all. I really don't. I get the hype. I just can't get on board with the hype. I'm just not a fan of them. And, you know, Seth Rollins and Murphy, you know, I like the new Monday Night Messiah heel Seth Rollins. I think it's working. I think it's cheesy enough to make it good. I think it's really good, actually. But, I don't know. I just don't feel like Seth Rollins and Murphy really have that chemistry. And I just don't think Seth Rollins really needs a stable, especially with the authors of Pain and Murphy. That's just kind of, I don't know. I just didn't feel like we really needed that. But this match, kind of your average tag team match, and it kind of felt like a Raw match, to be honest. And then we had Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro versus Braun Strowman in a 3-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. And I did not expect the outcome. I don't think many people did. Sami Zayn gets the pin on Braun Strowman and gets the win here, and is your new Intercontinental Champion. So, I'm a fan of El Generico, but I was never really a fan of Sami Zayn. I always felt like he was very held back in the WWE, and you could tell that, he's even said it many times. There's not much passion for wrestling in him anymore, because of the career he's had in WWE. So this was really good to see. Even if he only holds it till WrestleMania or whatever, I would like a lengthy Sami Zayn mid-card title reign, but who knows? I like where this is going. I like a heel Sami Zayn, like that just pussy heel. I love it. He is a great talent. And then we have, only going 21 minutes, the Women's Elimination Chamber match to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36. Okay, this one was really hard to care about in the first place. I'm not a really big Becky Lynch fan. I think it's time to drop the title. And also, this one was just very predictable. I think we all knew Baszler was going to go over, which is fine. It should be an interesting match at WrestleMania. I'm not really the biggest... I'm kind of neutral in terms of Shayna Baszler. I think, she has yet to do something to really impress me, but she's never, disappointed me. I just have to see more of her. But yeah, this was pretty much a disaster in every way. And I don't mean that in necessarily a bad way. I mean a disaster as in she basically beat everyone. She eliminated everyone, which I think is a first. It's never happened before. And, this match may have turned a lot of the fans. I know a lot of the fans were leaving during the event. I'm going to defend this match here. And some people might disagree with me here, because a lot of people have been shitting on this chamber match. But let me explain. If you're going to sell Shayna Baszler as this monster kind of Brock Lesnar of the women's division, and you really want to make her look like a contender for Becky Lynch, who has held the title for a year, this was the right move. If you're going to go with Baszler, you have to make her look dominant as hell. And they did that. She beat Ruby Riott. She beat Natalya. She beat Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan. And then, Asuka was our final entrant here. And, they didn't make Asuka look weak. I think maybe it could have went a little longer. I know a lot of people were leaving, so maybe something was cut for time. But, yeah, she submitted everyone. It only went 21 minutes. There were times where she submitted someone so quick that the next person wasn't even out of their pod yet, which I think is genius. You just have her going around taunting everyone as she's waiting for the next person to come out. You can't deny that this was good heel work, and this was good character building. So, this may have been technically one of the worst chamber matches, but it was more of a character development piece. So you can't really say it was a failure of a chamber match. That's me defending it. So, overall, this pay-per-view, it exceeded my expectations. As of a week ago, we only had 2 matches announced. It's hard to care about a pay-per-view you only have 2 matches announced for, a week beforehand. And that's because we had Super Shit Show. But still, this did exceed my expectations. I'm going to give this pay-per-view, a lot of people might shit on me for this. I'm going to go a little higher than a lot of other people have been giving it. Letter grades I've been seeing, people have been given pretty low grades. I disagree. I'm going to give this a B-. I saw a lot of people on other reviews giving it C's and D's. I even saw an F. No. I'm going to give this a B-. It's not the best WWE pay-per-view, but it's not the worst. Oh, God, no. We've seen so much worse, okay? We just got done with Super Showdown, alright? We've seen worse. But this was a decent build to WrestleMania, you know. So, you know, we'll see where it goes from here. But definitely let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.